Wanted a war criminal. Vladimir Putin, a name synonymous with power, ruthlessness, and now international fugitive. The International Criminal Court, or ICC, issued a warrant for his arrest. He is accused of war crimes in Ukraine. These are serious charges. They demand accountability. This is not just about Ukraine. It is about the global order. Putin's actions threaten every nation that values peace and sovereignty. He has shown disregard for international law. He has shown disregard for human life. The world cannot stand idly by. But how do you hold a man like Putin accountable? He sits comfortably in the Kremlin, surrounded by loyalists. Traditional methods of apprehension seem impossible. We need a bold, unconventional approach. We need a solution that matches the scale of his crimes. We need a bounty. The idea is simple. Use a portion of the surplus profits from oil sales, the very oil that fuels Putin's war machine, to finance a reward for information leading to his capture and surrender to the ICC. This is not about rewarding greed. This is about leveraging every tool at our disposal. We must incentivize those who can help bring Putin to justice. This money can be a powerful motivator. It can exploit the cracks in Putin's regime. Imagine the possibilities. Oligarchs feeling the pinch of sanctions, disillusioned insiders witnessing the devastation firsthand. Even those closest to Putin might be swayed. The lure of a life free from Putin's tyranny could be too tempting to resist. This bounty is not just about money. It is a symbol. It is a message to the world. We will not tolerate impunity. We will use every means necessary to hold perpetrators accountable. History teaches us that even the most tightly controlled regimes have their weaknesses. Greed, fear, and the desire for freedom can topple empires. Look at the capture of Saddam Hussein. Intelligence from within his inner circle proved crucial. Putin is not invincible. He surrounds himself with people. These people have families. They have ambitions. They have fears. The bounty exploits these vulnerabilities. It turns Putin's system against him. It incentivizes defection. Imagine the impact. High-ranking officials, fearing for their future, might consider cooperation. The bounty becomes a powerful bargaining chip. It offers a way out for those trapped in Putin's web of power. This is not a guarantee of success, but it is a chance to end this conflict, a chance to deliver justice for the victims, a chance to deter future atrocities. Section 4, the long arm of the law, reaching into the Kremlin. Some might argue that capturing Putin is impossible. They might say that Russia will never extradite him, but the ICC has jurisdiction, the warrant exists. That alone sends a powerful message. More importantly, the prospect of a fair trial for Putin is not just about punishment, it is about truth. It is about accountability. It is about sending a message that no one, not even a head of state, is above the law. Imagine Putin standing trial. Imagine the world hearing the evidence against him. Imagine the victims confronting their oppressor. This would be a victory for justice. It would be a victory for humanity. Of course, a fair trial in Russia seems unlikely under the current regime. But the very act of seeking justice, of demanding accountability, can be a catalyst for change. It can empower the Russian people. It can plant the seeds of democracy. Section 5, a question of ethics and practicality. Now let's address the elephant in the room. Is it ethical to put a bounty on someone's head? Isn't this stooping to Putin's level? The answer is simple. This is not about revenge. This is about justice. We are not advocating for violence. We are advocating for the rule of law. The bounty is a mechanism to bring a fugitive to justice. It is a tool to end a conflict. It is a way to prevent further bloodshed. And what about practicality? Is this even feasible? Absolutely. The international community has the resources. We have the mechanisms. What we need now is the political will. The bounty is not a silver bullet, but it is a viable option. It is an option we must consider. The cost of inaction is far greater than the cost of this bold initiative. Section 6. A world free from tyrants, a collective vision. Imagine a world where leaders are held accountable for their actions. Imagine a world where war criminals face justice. Imagine a world where peace and human rights prevail. This is the world we are striving for. The bounty on Putin is not just about one man. It is about sending a message to every dictator, every tyrant, every warlord. Your actions have consequences. The world is watching, and we will not rest until justice is served. This is a call to action. We urge the international community to come together. We urge world leaders to support this initiative. We urge everyone who believes in peace and justice to raise their voices. Together, we can make a difference. Together, we can build a world free from tyranny. Using a bicycle in a nuclear fallout? Here's why that's a death sentence. Imagine this. A nuclear fallout has just occurred. The air is thick with radioactive particles and every move counts. You might think grabbing a bicycle is a smart, quick escape. But that decision could cost you your life. Bicycles leave you fully exposed. No protective walls, no shielding from the deadly radiation. Every pedal stroke could be bringing you closer to lethal exposure. Radioactive dust clings to your clothes, your skin, your lungs. And it's not just you. Any living being, any electronics you carry are at risk. Remember the trihedral symbol for radioactivity? It's a glaring warning. Stay protected, stay indoors. Vehicles with enclosed cabins offer some protection, but bicycles? Absolutely not. In a nuclear fallout, safety isn't just a choice, it's a necessity. Don't make a fatal error. Protect yourself, protect others. Never use a bicycle during a nuclear fallout. Your life and the lives of those around you depend on it.
Why 75% of safety professionals rely on Geiger counters during nuclear incidents? Let's find out. A nuclear explosion releases a massive amount of radiation which can be deadly. But how do we determine a safe distance from the blast? Enter the Geiger counter. This device measures radiation levels in microsieverts per hour. For safety professionals, the key figure to watch is 50 microsieverts. At this level, you're in a zone generally considered safe for short-term exposure. So, what does that look like in practice? Imagine being miles away from the explosion, with your Geiger counter in hand. As you move further from the blast, the readings drop. Finally, you reach a point where the Geiger counter reads 50 microsieverts. That's your safe zone, the distance you need to maintain to minimize radiation risks. Remember, while 50 microsieverts is considered safe for brief periods, long-term exposure requires stricter limits. So next time you're assessing a nuclear incident, trust your Geiger counter. It's not just a tool, it's your lifeline. Stay safe out there.
If you're an emergency responder, you need to hear this. Riding a bike during a nuclear fallout can be deadly. When a nuclear catastrophe strikes, the air is filled with radioactive particles. These particles are invisible killers. Riding a bike during such a situation exposes you to these deadly elements much more than staying indoors. Bicycles offer no protection against radiation. None. Every second you're outside, radioactive dust clings to your clothes, your skin, and even gets inhaled. This isn't just harmful, it's a death sentence. Radioactive particles can cause severe burns, radiation sickness, and long-term cancers. But think about it. Every pedal stroke is another step closer to catastrophic health issues. Emergency responders, your priority is to protect yourself so you can help others return. Using a bike in a fallout zone puts you and everyone you aim to assist at extreme risk. The goal is to minimize exposure, not maximize it. Stay indoors, use protective gear if you must go out, follow official guidelines. Your bike won't save you, but smart decisions will. One arm. Remember, in a nuclear fallout, survival isn't about speed, it's about safety. Spread this message, save lives, don't risk it. Stay safe, stay smart, and never bike during a nuclear fallout. Your life depends on it.
Warum 75% der Sicherheitsexperten bei nuklearen Vorfällen auf Geigerzähler vertrauen. Hier nimmt ihr es heraus. Eine nukleare Explosion setzt eine massive Menge an Strahlung frei, die tödlich sein kann. Aber wie bestimmen wir einen sicheren Abstand zur Explosion? Hier kommt der Geigerzähler ins Spiel. Dieses Gerät misst die Strahlungswerte in Mikrosievert pro Stunde. Für Sicherheitsexperten ist die entscheidende Zahl 50 Mikrosievert. Bei diesem Wert befindet man sich in einer Zone, die allgemein als sicher für kurze Zeiträume gilt. Wie sieht das in der Praxis aus? Wenn Sie sich von der Explosion entfernen, sinken die Messwerte. Schließlich erreichen Sie einen Punkt, an dem der Geigerzähler 50 Mikrosievert anzeigt. Das ist Ihre Sicherheitszone, der Abstand, den Sie einhalten müssen, um das Strahlungsrisiko zu minimieren. Für kurze Zeiträume gelten 50 Mikrosievert als sicher, aber langfristige Exposition erfordert strengere Grenzwerte. Vertrauen Sie beim nächsten nuklearen Vorfall Ihrem Geigerzähler. Der ist nicht nur ein Werkzeug, der ist Ihre Lebensader. Bleiben Sie da draußen sicher.
Hallo. Ich möchte Ihnen hier das Rezept von einem natürlichen mittelalterlichen Antibiotikum vorstellen. Ein natürliches Antibiotikum, im Mittelalter verwendet und erfolgversprechend, bestand aus den folgenden Zutaten: Essig und kleingeschnittene Zitrone, Zwiebeln, Knoblauch, wahlweise Ginseng. Klein geschnitten und mit einer Prise Honig ziehen gelassen, nicht innerlich als Vorbeugung, sondern äußerlich auf Hautstellen aufgetragen, wo Antibiotika nicht anschlagen. Es kann wirken, eine Garantie gibt es nicht. Ich habe die Rezeptur aus einer TV-Reportage über das Mittelalter mir rausgeschrieben. Ich habe mit der Mischung und auch mit einzelnen Wirkstoffen gute Erfahrungen gemacht. Ich hatte eine Haarwurzelentzündung am Hinterkopf, wo keine antibiotische Salbe, die ich bei insgesamt 4 Hautärzten verschrieben bekam, die ich aufgesucht hatte, geholfen hatte, sondern Honig. Innerhalb von 2 Minuten hatte ich die erste Linderung und innerhalb einer Woche war alles verheilt. Ein Allheilmittel ist es zwar nicht, und bei einer anderen Hautinfektion, wo Antibiotika erstmal nicht halfen, war Honig völlig fehl am Platz, nämlich Krätze. Krätzemilben sind den Milben, die zum Aussterben mehrerer Honigbienenvölker geführt haben, nicht unähnlich. Die Milben können den Honig mit seinem hohen Zuckergehalt nur als Nahrung nutzen, er tötet die Tiere nicht.